Another week, another Rep Fitness drop. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. I'm just covering the home gym chaos so you don't miss a single bolt, knurl, or questionable product name. Speaking of, Fringe Sport has released the Walrus. Horrible name. And I'm going to be showing you the latest attachment that I bought with my hard-earned money. The No Fate channel. Checking in. Jonathan here with your latest home gym week in review, covering all of the news, drama, and equipment releases in the home gym multiverse so you don't have to live on Reddit 24/7. Rep Fitness is back.
We are back!
Expanding their Kleva Built collaboration. If you don't remember, Kleva Built in the past was a great company that had amazing attachments, some fun products, but they ran into issues with delivering stuff on time, with the high cost of shipping when you're a small company, sourcing issues, etc., etc. Well, they teamed up with Rep Fitness to deliver improved versions. That's right, not the same versions, but improved versions of their beloved attachments. They initially released their famous Genesis jack along with their tricep pushdown and both the close grip and multi-grip landmine attachments. But they went a step further. As home gym owners, typically who have a home gym as a hobby, they want to get stuff that is dialed in to their specific wants, needs, and likes. And Rep Fitness said you can choose the knurling. Rather than just leaving it to one, they gave you two options. One that specifically matches their Colorado bar, which is a medium knurling. I happen to think this is an underrated knurling because so many people actually go towards double aggressive. They want to go double black diamond. Reason being is the home gym community loves to just bro out on the message boards and tell you why you need to go super aggressive. Oh, you've got to be a man's man. I'll tell you, I did get the double aggressive. I do like it, but the medium knurling as well on the Colorado bar is a thing of beauty, and it's one of those things that most people are going to gravitate towards if they did like a double blind test because it's just going to feel right in their hand. As soon as the collaboration was announced, the biggest question and the most often asked question on Facebook groups was, when is the beloved rack-mounted landmine attachment going to be released? Well, well, well.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm.
What's the procedure, everyone?
The Rep Kleva Built Android landmine. It comes in two versions, freestanding, which I don't think a lot of people are talking about, and the one that most people want, the rack mounted. Reason being, this little nubby thing up here is actually a magnet. So you're able to use your landmine attached to your power rack, and then when you're not using it, rather than having it just kind of sit on the floor and potentially trip over, you can stick it right up here and Bob's your uncle. Now, obviously $140 is expensive, but in the grand scheme of things, it's not that bad. Everything Rep Fitness has been putting out with regards to these collaborations has been top shelf. And I think one of the major issues was people wanted a stronger magnet at the top here. And one of the things that Rep Fitness has been doing with this collaboration is making sure that they're not just taking the old drawings and just putting out the same thing. They're putting out improvements in order to kind of fix some of the customer feedback and make the products better. All right, chat, it is me from the future. I was on the Facebook groups and I noticed a lot of people asking if you can use this rackable landmine attachment as a barbell holder, since it will store vertically once it's connected to the magnet. And I'm here to tell you there is no lawyer on God's green earth that is going to recommend Rep Fitness claiming that you could use this as a barbell storage, because you are one bump away from someone getting like a stage 4 concussion and suing the heck out of Rep Fitness. It's just not going to happen. So if you do want to go that route, do it at your own risk. Now, the landmine that I've been using for the past 5 years and I think is criminally underrated is Rep Fitness's freestanding landmine. And the beauty of this is if you have a corner of your home gym, you literally just stick it in the corner. It's out of sight, out of mind, and you just throw a barbell in there whenever you want to use it, and there's nothing to break. There's nothing to go wrong with it. It will last you forever. And if you're like me and you have like a little bit of a stand with regards to adjustable dumbbells, something that has an opening on the bottom, you literally can just put that right on top of this landmine, so you're able to get double duty out of the same floor space. Rep Fitness also released the angled Atlas close grip cable and landmine attachment, and this is nice because you can use this in both directions in order to get hit different angles on your back exercises, whether you're doing a bent over row or a low row or even a lat pull down. And the last thing that they released with regards to this collaboration as of right now are their ISO handles. And this is probably the least interested product out of all of them. And that's not really a put down of this product, but when I look at it and I look at the dimensions, it seems to be a bit long. Now, I love ISO handles and there's tons of them on the market. I reviewed 4-6 Fitness's ISO handle. I thought this had really nice knurling, and for my hand size, it was nearly perfect. I thought it was a little bit long for my hand size, and if you remember correctly, I do have baby hands. So I've got smaller hands than most of you men out there. So I think for most of you, that's going to be the right length. But we even have Porter Phys Ed. As you can see, sometimes smaller is better. At least that's what I tell my wife. So this is smaller, but you get like a better hand grip on here. So at the bottom of your tricep extensions especially, you're able to get a bit better contraction rather than having to force it through a longer range of motion. It's just a bit more awkward. And when I look at these online, the good news is they're actually pretty inexpensive compared to what everyone else is selling theirs for. These two, which they do come in pairs, are only $70. It just seems a bit long, and I think I don't know if they've done that on purpose or if there's a method to the madness, and by no means do I have a degree in gym class, but it just seems a little bit long. Let's go back and just quickly analyze this photo. So you can see this is the bottom of the tricep extension. You can see it as she's gonna kind of try to extend that wrist and kind of make her arm straight. It's going to be hard to kind of push down because it's so far away from this pivot point. And I know I'm not discussing the physics of it correctly, but it just seems a little bit long. This, as an example, this dude right here is a monster. This guy is massive. I'll put a photo of me and him side by side so you can see just how big he is. And you can see there's all this extra room where his hand is not. So even though the price is right, I don't know if I would go that route. I'd probably look to go with the Porter Phys Ed. I know 4-6 Fitness is actually coming out with a new version of this, and where they shorten it, I think, by almost an inch, and they make a few other changes on here as well. 4-6 Fitness, the company that seems to be the whipping boy for the home gym Discord. I mean, some people on there absolutely despise this company, but for me, I actually like it. It's a small company, an army of one. Mario, he's in the South somewhere, or he's in Texas actually, and honestly, he does good work. I judge his company and him by the products that he releases and what I've gotten my hands on. Now, case in point, I reviewed their D handles that people seem to like. I got these in-house. The knurling was nice, but the design of these was perfect in terms of flies. These are designed for one thing only, flies, so that when you come around on those flies, a typical D handle will press up against your wrist and it doesn't give you as much of a range of motion as this bad boy. And this absolutely works. This feels good on flies. But there was one small issue, and that is there's no rotation in the handle. That doesn't mean there's an issue with the flies. They still felt really good on the flies, but if you try to take this D handle and use it like on something like one-arm rows or one-arm lat pull-downs, as well as bicep curls, because you know, we got to do curls for the girls, the lack of rotation is an issue. It's not the size of the boat, it's the motion of the ocean, and Mario over at 4-6 Fitness has a small boat. He's got a small company, but that's a good thing because he can turn around changes, improvements, upgrades to his equipment on a dime. And that's what he did. He basically listened to the feedback and improved it. The handle now spins, and it spins forever. Also, they went a step further. The knurling on here is still pristine, still amazing, but the previous knurling was fairly passive. They beefed it up to what I would consider almost a medium knurling, and it feels really nice in the hand.
And it feels different. It feels fantastic.
So now you can still use this for flies, which again was the predominant reason for the previous D handle that people would buy in terms of the design. But you can also double dip. You can use this for one-arm rows, you can do it for one-arm pull-downs, bicep curls, tricep reverse push-downs, you name it, you can use this. And I've just swapped out all of my other D handles for these because It's just so nice to use. And before any of you get butt hurt, yes, I do have an affiliate link, but I paid for these with my own hard-earned money. I ponied up the money, bought these bad boys, got them in-house, and absolutely love them. If you do want to grab a pair of these, they're not cheap. They're not giving them away, that's for certain. They are on the expensive side. It is a luxury item when it comes to the home gym. And by no means do you need to go out and buy an expensive pair of D handles. You can go on Amazon. I'll put links to those in the description as well, and get yourself a $20 pair that will work. Will get you the same amount of gains. But if you are looking for something nice, something premium, something to add to your hobby, which is the home gym world that we live in these days, then these D handles are the bomb. Now the Fringe Sport Walrus. The worst name ever. Who thought that name was intimidating? I mean, a walrus is essentially a fat sea puppy, not exactly inspiring new PRs. Now, naming aside, I am still a fan of Fringe Sport. I like the company, I like the owner, Peter Keller. He's a one of a kind. And I do think that they have some pretty solid prices. And we are going to talk about the price of this just after we talk about some of the key features. And the biggest thing has to be the adjustment of this lat pull down handle. Now, for most people who are tall, you just stand up, grab the bar, sit down, and Bob's your uncle. But for those who are shorter, maybe your wife or your kids, you really have to almost stand up on the bench to pull this down. Well, Fringe Sport fix that. They've added this little pulley that allows you to drop this overall handle length down or up depending on your overall height to better dial in your needs. This thing comes with a massive 320-pound weight stack, 1-to-1 ratio, so you're getting all of that weight, and you can add bands to this thing. And I know people kind of poo-poo bands, but it is a great way to get some fantastic pump if you're into bodybuilding, or if you just want to get way more resistance during the powerful portion of your rep range. Another nice feature about the Walrus is the low row. Typical lat pull down and low row machines will have you sitting on the floor. And if you've got a cold gym, that's annoying, or if you're just old like me, going all the way down to the floor, it's pretty hard on the joints. The way that their seat works allows you to kind of get it close to the floor, but it's almost like you're kind of sitting down into a kid's seat, so you are lower to the ground, but you're not on the floor. It's a lot more comfortable, and it's a lot easier to get up out of. Now, this does come with 3x3 construction, 1-inch holes and 2-inch spacing. The reason that's actually nice is because if you want, you can use it for upright storage. You could connect a landmine attachment to it or even a dip handle to it if you wanted. I know that's not really something a lot of people will do, but it's always nice to have options. And probably the best thing about this in general is what Fringe Sport has been doing with a lot of their products, and they are offering a lifetime warranty. And I don't know why more companies aren't doing that. I'm sure it doesn't cost very much more to offer like a 5-year versus a lifetime, but they're offering a lifetime warranty on this. So they literally claim it's going to be the last lat pull down and low row machine you'll ever have to buy. Fringe Sport isn't really reinventing the wheel with the Walrus. There are a number of similar products on the market. We got the Titan Fitness Cable Tower. We got the Rogue LP2 lat pull down and low row. We've got the Adonis Cable Tower, the ATX Trinity lat machine, and we've got your standard meat and potatoes Titan Fitness lat pull down, as well as bellows of steel. Now, the biggest claim to fame on the Walrus is clearly not the name, it's the pricing. And this price point of about $2,000 comes in below the Titan Cable Tower, below Rogue Fitness, obviously below the Adonis Cable Tower, below the ATX Trinity lat machine. There's others that are similar, but at the end of the day, this thing does come in lower than most of the competition, if not all of the competition. I've said it before, and I am gonna say it again. I am a big fan, huge, of buying standalone machines when you have the space in your home gym. Putting everything into your power rack is great if you're on a space constraint, but it can become very cumbersome, very intertwined, and very inconvenient when transitioning from one exercise to another. I do like with the fact that Fringe Sport has dropped a lot of benefit for a relatively low price compared to the competition, and I'm a sucker for their lifetime warranty. I wish more companies would step up to the plate and just put a lifetime warranty behind their products and just say, hey, we're going to be around for a while and we are going to back our equipment forever. Now, if you are on a budget, you got to look at the Walrus. Links in the description, of course. But if you are not on a budget, you may want to look elsewhere because there are a bit more refined, a bit more beefed up, a bit more like nuanced pieces of equipment that are exactly the same as the Walrus, but just slightly better. This is the point in the video where I usually thank my mom because she's the only one that makes it all the way to the end. If you've made it this far, I want you to comment down below until the end. And in 2 weeks' time, I will pick a winner. Now, 2 things that are absolute winners, these videos that you should watch next. Obviously, use the links in the description. They support the channel, they support future content, and most importantly, don't save anything for the trip back.